Hi everyone, welcome back to Fenton Forest. It's been a while since my last installment. I do apologize for that. I've been very busy with real life stuff. It always seems to get in the way of me playing video games, which is unfortunate. But happy to be back here on the farm. So we're continuing to prepare field 2 for our crop. We've planted on field 1, we've planted canola, and we're going to do soybeans on field 2. I think that's what we decided last time. I still have grass that needs to be turned into hay. This was a contract that is now complete, so I'm going to leave that there for now. All right, so let's use the case to get some hay going. First, we need to put away our mowers. And I think I'll leave these right here. Visibility is not bad with this backing up, so we'll try to do it this way. And then we'll turn around and drop off the front right in front of it. Okay, and the tedder should be over here. And that's this first one here. Okay, so let's get the tedding done, and then we'll see about making some food for the cows. Now this is where, if we had the follow me mod, this would be really awesome, because you could do the tedding with one vehicle and you could have another vehicle behind doing the raking. And you could even have a third vehicle behind that doing the collecting, but we don't have it yet, so we'll have to do all these passes manually. And I think at some point we'll have enough of a need for grass products that we can buy a field and dedicate it to grass, and then we'll be able to use the hired workers for this stuff. But for now, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way. This tedder covers quite a lot of area, actually. This is pretty nice. And the higher speed helps. This is the modded version from Stevie. Same Stevie that made this map. It's got a higher top speed than the vanilla version, which I think was 20 kph. This one's 27. So recently, Marwell Manor, the map from Oxygen David, has come out recently, which is a really nice map, and I've asked for some feedback on that, whether you all wanted me to switch over to Marwell Manor or continue on this map. And it seems like most people want me to continue on this map, which I'm happy to do. I have been playing on Marwell Manor a little bit in my spare time, the little bit of spare time that I've had. So I haven't spent a lot of time on it, but 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and it looks really, really nice. I mean, the detail is very high level. It looks very realistic. It's kind of, it has kind of a worn down sort of a feel, sort of like Ravenport does. Or if you remember any of the maps from 17, Chellington had that sort of feel. It had the look of a farm that's been around for generations. And this is the same way, but I think it makes for some pretty realistic gameplay. And if you go to the forums, there's a lot of people that have complained about that aspect of, well, not a lot of people. There's been a few people that have complained about that aspect of Ravenport. Mostly Americans who don't like seeing America portrayed as, a rundown, junky place. But the fact of the matter is that there are parts of America that look that way, and there are parts of other countries that look that way. And Marwell Manor is part of another country that looks that way. And to me, it's not. I don't think it's anything to take offense about. Every country's got good things to be proud of and not so good things that are really not a problem. The garbage laying around in Ravenport, that's what you see sometimes. I don't think it's anything to necessarily be embarrassed about or be ashamed of. And, and when I see Marwell Manor and, you see rusted out equipment and cars and, there's some old couches next to the dumpsters. I don't see that and think, geez, what a horrible place southern UK must be, Actually, I went to London recently and I loved it. I thought it was a beautiful city. All right. Well, a few more minutes here and we should have this job wrapped up. And then we can get some more hay to the horses. And we'll try making some mixed ration with my mixing wagon. Although, if I remember correctly, I think we're out of silage. So maybe I'll just be feeding hay to the cows. I want to go back and get that little bit that I just missed. Otherwise it won't get picked up, and then I'll have this little piece of grass laying on next to the field all the time, and it's going to bother me. I want everything to look nice and clean. Yeah, right here. All right, and then we'll come back and rake all this up. So I think that's it. Back there. Plowing is almost done. Okay, yeah, we just have a little bit left up here. And then we'll have the hay making done. One thing I like about Seasons Mod is that grass will decay over time. So if you leave grass out on a field or, in a grassy area that's been cut, it'll eventually decay and disappear. I would honestly like that to be in the game, and I'd like to see the same thing happen with straw. So that if you have bits of straw laying around on the ground, they'll eventually go away. And I really hope Seasons comes out soon. That was an awesome mod. I'm not sure how long we'll play on this map, but as soon as Seasons is available, I'm sure that I'll be starting on a new map. Starting a new save with Seasons. And for the next one, I don't know if I'll carry over equipment or not. Because I have a feeling that after we play on this map for a while, we're going to be awash in cash. And, you know, part of the enjoyment for me is having a progression and, you know, having at least a little bit of a struggle for money. And, you know, working your way up to bigger and better equipment. We're still doing that now. But I think after we've played on this map for a while, we're going to have a lot of very nice equipment. And I think after that, I'll probably be ready to make a fresh start somewhere. Maybe it'll be Marwell. Maybe there'll be some other high-quality maps out by then. Now, there were also 3 other maps recently released by Giants, and I haven't had a chance to check them out, but you know, from what I've heard from other YouTubers and on the forums and stuff, they're not anywhere close to the quality that Marwell Manor is. And it seems like there's not a whole lot of people that know about this map, and I think it's probably just because Stevie doesn't put his maps on ModHub. You know, all of his mods you need to get from his Facebook page, and I think that limits his audience somewhat. And I'm not sure exactly what his reasons are for that, but you know, I'm sure he's got good reasons. Maybe he doesn't care to go through the Giants testing process and everything. I don't know. Well, and I also know that in the past, his mods have had a lot of, you know, I think I mentioned this before. He's had stuff like seed making machines and potato washers and lots of extra gadgets and gizmos, and maybe that caused some issues with ModHub. You know, so if there's no chance to get your mod released, then why bother trying, you know? I don't know. And I don't know if Stevie's watching this. I don't know if he's got time for it, but Stevie, if you're watching and you have some insight for us, let us know. Okay, so it looks like I'll need a second pass here on the sides to get everything raked up. Yeah, and most of the big YouTubers in the farm sim world are doing series now on Marwell Manor, which is not surprising. So another part of my decision to stay with Fenton Forest is just to, you know, since I'm kind of a small player in farm sim, I think I need to do a little something to differentiate myself. Because, you know, to be honest, most people, if they want to see what Marwell Manor is like, they're going to watch Daggerwin or Sealy P or somebody like that before they even see my channel. So at least this way, if somebody's searching for Fenton Forest, as far as I know, I'm the only guy doing it. Well, no, that's not true. I know there are other guys doing it. I've seen some European YouTubers with Let's Plays on this map. Actually, let's just combine these. Make life a little bit easier. Now, I know in previous versions of the game, I think that when you combine windrows like this, that there was some loss. I don't know if that holds true in 19. And I think they did that just to prevent people from, you could theoretically rake up an entire field into one row, if you make enough passes. And then you'd move your baler like 30 centimeters and get a bale, So I could see a reason for doing that. And I suppose in real life too, you're never, your rakes are never going to pick up 100% of what's there on the ground. I'm sure some of it falls below the edge of the rake or whatever. So it makes sense to me that it's not 100% efficient at collecting. I'll be interested to see how much hay I get out of this, since this is just, I don't know what you would call this, wild grass. No fertilizer or anything. So the yield is not going to be super high, but it is quite a lot of area. It doesn't look like a lot since we're just dealing in thin strips here, but we've been at this for a little while and there's still a lot left to do, so it seems like we'll get probably at least a full wagon load, if not more. And I think the plowing will probably be done by the time we're finished with this. Or at least with collecting the hay. And then probably in the next episode we'll start seeding. And perhaps do a little more animal care. We can check too and see how much milk we've got. There might be enough to warrant a trip to the dairy to sell it. The small milk tanker will hold 8,000 liters. So generally I'm thinking that we'll just wait until that's full, or until we have enough to fill it before we take it to sell. The pigs, we're going to wait. I'm going to wait until I have at least 100 before I sell any, and I might even... I don't remember how many pigs the large pen holds. Maybe it's 300. We can check. Oh, wrong one. There's another big fertilizing contract. Let's see. Animal pens. All right, so large chicken holds 400. 200 cows, 16 horses, 300 pigs. So ideally we'll wait until we get to 300, and then we'll sell however many pigs we need to sell so that we've got 300 the next day, or 299 the next day, let's say. We don't want to lose any opportunity to get new pigs. So we always want to keep it just below the threshold. And that's because the more pigs you have, the faster they reproduce. So to maximize your profits, you want to keep as many animals as possible while still allowing the reproductive rate to give you more animals. So you don't want to fill it up. Even with cows, it would be the same. We don't want to, because you can sell cows too. So we want to try to keep the paddocks nearly full. But under the cap. All right, we've got almost 31 hours on the case. That's not a ton, but we've gotten a lot of mileage out of this guy. I think this might be a challenge to pick up later. I'm not exactly leaving nice straight rows. Here, I'll get these little ends here. Whoops. Another example of my good driving skills. Okay. Now we need the wagon to pick it up. And I think I've got enough power on this to pull the wagon. I think the wagon needs 270, and that's what we've got on this machine. Actually, I'll use the T8. I think it's just sitting over by the silo right now. Okay, so we'll park this here. Or try to. All right. So we'll need to park this. And I need to turn off my GPS lines. I think I can do this a little bit better. Okay. All right. Now let's go pick up our hay. Okay, plowing's done, and I think it's in the way now. Just move him out of the way. Okay. Yeah, I've already got 7,000 liters in here, so I think we will... Well, for sure we'll get a wagon load, if not 2 or 3. What happened to my hay? I think the plow must have eaten it. It was probably, oh yeah, it was probably too close to the edge of the field, and I bet the plow was off the edge. Well, that's too bad. When I do a turn, I try to go a bit to the outside of the turn with the tractor, since the pickup on the wagon is going to want to go to the inside of the turn while I'm turning. So that's why you'll see me like go around a turn with my wheels, you know, with my inside wheels close to the row, just to try to keep the row centered on the pickup. Okay, yeah, we're almost full and we haven't even gotten around once yet. So, yeah, I think this ought to take care of us for a long time. Okay, so that's the first full load. Let's feed the horses and the cows. Well, before I feed the cows, let me just double check. Yeah, I have no silage. And the cows are almost out of food. Yeah, so we'll feed the cows with hay, and that way they'll have something to eat in case the mixed ration runs out. And then the next time we make grass, or the next time we cut grass here, we'll put it in the silage bunker, and then we'll have what we need to make mixed ration. That's for straw. Yeah, the feed is around the other side. Okay, it looks like they can take quite a lot of it. Oh, yeah, it's just over half full. I think we'll leave it like that, and I'll put the rest of the hay in the silo so that we can save it for making mixed rations. But the other thing I was thinking of is maybe I should buy some more horses. So I've got these 4 horses, and then eventually when they're sold, I'll have to start from 0 again. So, where do I buy the horses? So I'm thinking maybe I'll buy a couple more horses, or like 4 more horses, because we can hold 16 in this pen if I'm not mistaken. All right, so let's buy a black one. pinto, a gray, and a chestnut. Okay. So now we've got 8 horses, and that means I should probably put more hay in there. And let's see how I'm doing on oats. If I've got oats stored. Yes. Yeah, I've got 36,000 liters of oats in the silo, so I don't think we need to grow more oats right now. We'll do soybeans as originally planned. All right, I'm going to pick up this bit here. Let's try that again. There we go. And then let's pick up where we left off. And we'll get another load done. Top off the horses again, and then the rest ought to go in the silo. Yeah, so you can see now that the hay is only at 50% since we just doubled the quantity of horses that we've got. And the horses are a great moneymaker if you don't mind waiting a while. It does take a while before they get up to full value, but you know, once they get to their maximum state, they're worth $50,000, and they're only $5,000 to start with, so it's pretty good profit. And they're fairly easy to feed and everything. And if you have the horse helper mod, they're very easy to take care of too. This wagon's leaving a lot of stuff behind. I don't know if I'm just missing. Yeah, I'm not lined up properly, so it's probably my fault. Let's try this again. There we go. Maybe my technique's not as good as I thought it was. So hopefully after this next harvest, we'll have enough to get one of these other fields. Field 6, I think, is the one that I'd really like to do. Field 7 wouldn't be bad either. And then, of course, fields 8 and 3 are logical choices. So we'll just start expanding outward from this end of from this corner of the map. Try to keep everything close by so that we don't have to travel too much. Now field 3. Okay. I was going to say field 3 looks like it's got grass on it, but it doesn't. Although that would probably be a good one to plant grass on, since it's not that big compared to these other fields. I I don't want to get a huge amount of grass, but enough to take care of the animals and maybe have some extra silage to sell would be nice. Alright, I'm just going to grab this little bit here to top off the wagon. Okay, close enough. I like these, the lid on this thing. Or the cover. Slow down. Horses are over here. Okay, so they're topped off, and then we'll go put the rest in the silo. Okay, and there we go. So next time we'll finish collecting the hay. We'll start seeding the field. And we'll probably clean up some animal pens while we're at it. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye-bye.